What's happening, Gemini? It's Gemini Tarot time, and we're back with Tarot in Wonderland. I think we'll do a whole set of 12 out of this deck before we move on. There is another deck coming in the post at the moment, but we'll use Tarot in Wonderland here because that's the one people seem to like, and it does take us very deep indeed. Okay, so a 5-card spread this time, and we'll do some chakra cards as well to connect us. To connect our inner selves, I suppose, with the outer reality of what's actually going on and what's indicated in the spread here. And we'll do an oracle card or two, at least at the end, to see where it's all taken us. So I'm shuffling away here saying, let's have a 5-card spread for the sign of Gemini. And let's have card number 1, 2, please. So let's turn one over. And here we are, it's the 2 of Pentacles. Right, that balancing act that shows up so often in the tarot, actually, and it's indicated in very similar ways in just about every deck there is, because it's an uncontroversial kind of a thing here. There's some juggling going on, and it's not easy, Gemini, for you guys to see where things are going. The clouds in the sky are very slanted there, and although it's kind of purple and there's healing implied there, it's really not an easy journey at all. We can see the ships there blowing about, so whatever's expected to come in is kind of circumspect. There's no guarantees with this one. The only thing that is really guaranteed, actually, is that the Hatter here isn't going to drop the pentacles. It looks as if he's got a pretty firm sense of control on there. Now, this is Earth sign energy, so there is going to be a need for grounding here, and it shouldn't be too hard to find. This is Taurus, this is Virgo, this is Capricorn. Somewhere around you are any of those people in your life at the moment, Gemini. That's worth thinking about. It's also worth thinking about how things sit in your own birth chart, in the astrology of the time when you were born. Check out any of the major tarot websites, actually. They'll all give you a free birth chart if you put your details in. That's simple. You don't have to give them your credit card number or anything. It's just your sort of your date of birth, your place of birth, and if you know it, your time of birth makes a big difference as well. Now, where is the chakra deck? Because we want to look in this one next. I'm going to say, tell us more, please, about this card, the 2 of Pentacles, in this reading for the sign of Gemini. I'm doing this February 2020, but the best time to watch it is right now, when you're drawn to watch it. So if you're watching in the future, take heart. If you're drawn to any of my readings at any time, they are actually for you. Even if they're not directly for your star sign, they'll have something to tell you, either about yourself or someone close to you. Who knows? Okay, but Gemini, this is all about you, and at this time, it's all about February. I'm using, I can't find it, Rachel Sharman anyway, Rachel Sharman's Oracle deck here. That's the right way up, I think. Yeah, that's much better. And this is the chakra system. If you're not familiar with the chakras, they're kind of spiritual points within the body, which we work on in terms of health and in terms of spirituality, and we can bring them together and say in terms of spiritual health as well. So we'll turn one over, and what have we got? It's number 14 in this deck. It's inner strength, and we are pretty well into the solar plexus chakra here with this colour. Okay, now this has a lot to do with personal power, and of course inner strength is bound to, isn't it? And this is how we deal with the juggling act, really. We look inside ourselves for our own resources, Gemini. Excuse the filthy fingers, by the way. It's firelighting season, but you don't want to look at that. You're not going to drop the pentacles, okay? There's a lot of really good, really positive energy here, as long as you can get yourself grounded, basically. And when you look inside yourself, you know, what are your inner strengths? What is it that that you either do now, or maybe something you've done in the past, which you can actually add into this juggling act, which is going to bring it firmly under control? I know you can do it, Gemini. You really can. That's why these cards come up when they come up. Now, the character in this card is looking kind of, oh no, everything's absolutely, you know, really doesn't look like a happy character at all, but there's a way out of the happiness, and look at the light that's activating within her as she looks so miserable. Okay, so feel that light ready to break out of you, Gemini. It's going to, and it's going to help you really get a handle on everything that's going on here with the 2 of Pentacles. Let's view them together. 2 of Pentacles, the juggling, the balancing, and the inner strength that's going to make it all right and make it all happen. Okay, that's card number 1. We seem to be off to a fairly flying start there, so let's pop these aside. I must get another little table so I don't have to keep looking away. That'd be good, wouldn't it? That would be my balancing act, actually, because I'm always juggling decks of cards when I do these readings. Right, back to Tarot in Wonderland. Here we are, and I'll have a shuffle and I'll say, give us the second card, please, in this 5-card spread for the sign of Gemini. Give us the second card, please, in this reading for Gemini. And we'll turn one over. And what have we got? It is the Emperor. Major arcana, close to the heart, and an early step in the Fool's journey, actually. The journey through the tarot is all about the major arcana, really. The suit cards are really important too, and they all have a lot to say, but this is the main journey. This is close to what's going on in your life at the present time, Gemini. It's number 4, so it's a nice 4 square number, and it's kind of an angel number as well. You can always be sure they're ready to help. You've only got to ask, but this is a nice reminder of it. And the dodo here, well, this one is certainly not as dead as a dodo. In fact, he's very much alive, and he's very much in control as well, being the Emperor. We can see the symbols of nature in the trees behind him, but they're all very prim and proper. They've all been kind of looked after very carefully because he's got the resources to pay people to actually do that. He's got what it takes to manage the resources. Number 3, the Empress, is telling us that there's a season for everything, you know. And, of course, the Emperor understands that. But the Emperor is more about knowing when it's time to dole things out, either to himself or to other people. So think about your own resources. Is there something you've been sitting on, Gemini, that you could actually bring into the situation? This is the second card of a 5-card spread. So it is early in the journey, and it is early in the major arcana as well. Nothing too much to worry about here, but if we look, right, some of these birds are sitting on the floor. One of them's even dressed up in a nice kind of dress and a shawl there. The parrot is gleamingly beautiful with those colours, but it's sitting still. If we look at the top, though, there's a golden, kind of looks like a dove to me with a magic hat on, flying. And that's what really needs to happen. You need to get the magic out, okay? And use the magic to look within yourself and find out where you need to be going, okay? That's a real important thing there. So it's good, really, to have everything nice and neat and ready and stored up and not to overuse things. But at the same time, to get anywhere in life with anything, you have to actually start using those resources sooner or later. Don't use them willy-nilly, but do bring them out and get them going. Oh, excuse me, I've had far too many cups of tea today. Really, what will come next? I'm into the chakra deck, and we'll find out where we have to look within our spiritual soul for the answer to this one, number 4, the Emperor. I'll turn one over, and it's number 9, and it's flexibility. There, okay, now this is in the sacral chakra, which has a lot to do with kind of sexual powers. Not only to do with that, but it's a sort of staging point between the base chakra, the root chakra, which is kind of security and money, that kind of thing. Money, safety, security. This is a step on, and this is actually reaching out into the world, but it's still very much an internal fire, you know. And you see this lady in the picture doing that yogic position, or is she dancing, or maybe she's doing both? Who knows? That actually takes me into the juggling act of the 2 of Pentacles a fair bit there. But these cards do all react and reinforce each other, I suppose, is a good way to look at it. It's number 9 in the chakra deck. There are about 36 cards, so this one's early in the journey as well. And the sacral chakra is something very much to do with basic instincts that we need to think about. Now look at the pure gold light that is breaking out all around in front of this character. You've got to look forward, you've got to reach forward and believe that that gold can happen, that you can honour your goals with action and you can reach the gold kind of truth of life. Okay, going with the Emperor there, that is a real good pairing. The Emperor's got everything neat and tidy. It's time to bring things out. So in the sacral chakra there, kind of be confident in your sexuality and your sensuality, your ability to sense what's going on in the universe around you and in the world around you. That is going to really make a difference. Okay, now then, the next card is going to be number 3, so it's the heart of the matter, the centre card of this 5-card spread. Okay, we will see what it is. I'll have a shuffle of Tarot in Wonderland and say, give us the next card, please, the heart of the matter in this spread for the sign of Gemini in February of 2020, or whenever you're watching it. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. Tap the bell so you don't miss anything, and take a look through all the readings on my channel. There are about 650-ish at the moment. I'm really cracking on. I add as many as I can every week because I love to do this work, and that really helps my connection with you, and I really hope that I'm helping with your connection out there with the world around you as much as I possibly can. Okay, so let's turn over another one. It's the 6 of Pentacles this time. Oh, very earthy reading this so far. Another Pentacles card, another Earth sign card, basically. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, all those energies coming into play. Now, this card says that you've actually got all the resources you need. It's very much about resources so far, this reading. This says that you've got everything you need, either in your hand now or available to you, but you are going to have to do some work, and you are going to have to make some changes for things to really come out into reality and work for you in the best way they can. We've still got some slanted clouds there. It looks a lot less worrying than the sky in the 2 of Pentacles. Let's just see that for a minute. Look, that's really raging, sort of stormy sky there. And this is much calmer scene, but things aren't entirely straight yet. You'll know what to do, basically, but you may have to eat a bit of humble pie, either in front of someone else, or maybe just admit to yourself that something in the ideas you're having at the moment and your plans for dealing with the situation aren't quite right and need a rethink, you know? Maybe you've got to phone a friend. That's a good thing you can do when this card comes up. Healing is possible. There's some really nice lilac amethyst purple in the sky above this card, and you can see the resources absolutely spread all over the table here. Alice, though, she doesn't look too happy, and it's because she's with the Mad Hatter and the Mad March Hare, and they're both nuts, and she doesn't know what to expect from them, and somehow she's going to have to get some more advice, but there is plenty there, and there is a lot of goodness indicated. So, chakra deck, where are you? Here we are. We'll have a shuffle again of Rachel Sherman's Rachel Sharman's wonderful chakra deck. Gosh, excuse me, I forget my own name sometimes. And so tell us more about the 6 of Pentacles in this reading for the sign of Gemini. Do you forget your own name sometimes, Gemini? Maybe you do. It's a fact of life, I guess. So what is the deal on the 6 of Pentacles here? Let's turn one over, and it's all about love. Right, we're into the heart chakra here, heart chakra green. It can be pink as well for the higher heart chakra, but this is the nitty gritty. This is the lower heart chakra, and it's where love kind of grows out. You know, higher things like love grow out of the basic common nature of this wonderful earth that we actually live on, the wonderful earth that we can so easily take for granted. Things need to grow out of it, and that's why you need to do that phone a friend thing with the 6 of Pentacles, because the resources are there. It's just a question of using them. Now, if you focus on the beautiful colours of that fiery heart, look at the wonderful light in that card there. Now, wouldn't we all like it if that represented our actual love life and our true feelings for either our love of life generally, or, you know, the actual love of our life, the partner that we want to be with, or maybe the partner we are with? Wouldn't it be wonderful if it was like that? Well, it really can be, because if you look more closely, these are like 2 intertwined serpents, which is a very ancient Celtic symbol, and it's 2 energies coming together and sparking off each other. Okay, it just takes a bit of visualization and believing in that visualization to make these colours real and to make them really come into life and be a part of things. Okay, now that's the heart of the matter, really. It's all about resources again. It's a very resource-based reading, this one so far. Who knows where we're going to go with it? But basically everything here says you've got the ability to deal with the things that need to be dealt with. You've got the ability and the power within you as well to actually make everything happen for the best. But in a cosmic kind of a way, do meditate a bit. You know, the chakras are always something to meditate on. If you're not familiar with the chakras, basically, let me show you the back of one of these cards. These are the colours here. There's actually the Earth Star chakra down in about a couple of, maybe about half a metre below our feet into the ground. And it's the base chakra here, which actually links to that and gives us our connection to the earth. And it's always good to be as grounded as possible that way, because it's actually into the magic of the earth that we are drawing down the magic of the heavens, of the higher realms. Okay, so there is the red root chakra. And we've got the sacral chakra, which is just a little bit above it. The solar plexus chakra, which is exactly where the solar plexus is. It's not quite showing. It's about an inch below where my hand is on me there. It just won't show in the camera. Then we've got the green of the heart. We've got the blue of the throat chakra. That's all about speaking your truth. The purple of the third eye, which actually looks inside us. You know, it's right up here, just above the actual human eye line there. It is a very human thing, but it's a cosmic spiritual kind of thing. It's here, and it looks within. You know, it looks for the truth within us, because it's only when we're in touch with that truth that we can really interact with the world around us. And then above that, we've got the crown chakra, which can be clear, it can be silver, that kind of thing. But it's a very precious chakra to work on, that one, because that's the one that links up to the Stargate chakra, which is a bit above our head. And when we've got the chakras in a row and in a line, which takes a little bit of meditation or maybe just a little bit of thought, because we can clean them and make them healthy just by visualizing them as those colours, nice and bright, without any troubled feeling around them, you know. We just visualize them that way, and so it will be. Okay, so think about the chakras, guys. This is really important in this spread. And for some reason, I've been drawn to do chakra cards with all the tarot cards in the readings that I'm doing in this set of the whole zodiac. And stay tuned, by the way, for more tarot readings, because there's more coming all the time. And speaking of more coming, what are we going to have for the next tarot card? There are 2 to go in this 5-card spread. Okay, let's turn one over. Card number 4, as we move towards our conclusion. Number 7, and it's the Chariot. Now, this is a very curious view of the Chariot, isn't it? There's no wheels, there's no sphinxes. What on earth is going on? Well, Alice is really having to think about resources here. We're into the idea of resources again. She's trying to have a game of polo, and she's been given entirely the wrong resources. Now, this is major arcana, so very close to your heart, Gemini, and very close to what's going on in your life at the moment. But how on earth can you get on with this? I don't know, but somehow Alice is going to make sense of it. She's very nearly trodden on the hedgehog there, but she's a very compassionate person. She isn't really going to tread on it, and I'm sure she won't actually hit it with that flamingo. So she's got the resources. They're absolutely beautiful, but they're the wrong ones. So there's some work needs to happen there, doesn't it? Okay, chakra deck, what have you to tell us about that? Right, let's have a shuffle of the chakra deck and see what comes out next. And let's turn one over. And here we are, number 22, it's life purpose. Now this is all about speaking your truth. It's throat chakra. And you can tell my throat chakra isn't brilliant at the moment, but I've run out of tea and I've drank too much of it today. That's my resource issue going on, if you like. Excuse me. So there's a staircase there, and so speaking your truth doesn't make it all happen in one go. It's one step at a time, okay? And so that links up with this one, because we do need to actually ask for what we want, and we need to persuade someone, or maybe many people, maybe even the cosmic influences, but we need to do some persuading to make the right things happen here. Okay, but the staircase is real, and it leads to pure light at the top there, surrounded by gold. Couldn't be much better, really, but really tricky situation here with the Chariot. Okay, it's going to be difficult along this journey. I can see it. It's not an easy passage, this journey through the tarot deck we're having at the moment, but nothing worth having comes without a bit of a fight, you know, so there's certainly a battle indicated. It's really not going to be an easy journey, but it is a journey, and it's the journey that you're already on, Gemini. That's the thing. So whatever you do, don't hide from it, you know. Keep meditating, keep asking for dreams to come, ask the angels to help as well, okay, because things look pretty impossible at times here. But when I look at the first, second and third cards, and the third card being the heart of the matter, I can see that you have got the resources to do it, you know. It's just a question of having a rethink in places, and maybe a question of thinking a bit too much at the present time as we're starting off with the Two of Pentacles. You really can overthink a thing, and that makes it even harder to juggle life's responsibilities and to juggle everything else that you've got to kind of keep in the air all at the same time in order for things to work out. But that's the game of life, you know. You can love it or hate it, but it's much better if you try to love it and give that everything you've got. Okay, so we're coming towards an outcome card now for the sign of Gemini. I'm back with Tarot in Wonderland, shuffling and saying, give us card number 5, please. The outcome card in this reading for the sign of Gemini. And we'll turn one over, and what we've got here is the Three of Pentacles. Now, this is a very, very positive card. It's Pentacles again, so we've got that earthiness, that grounded feeling. And I think you're going to be pretty well grounded, actually, by the time you get here. Okay, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, those three energies are very, very close to everything that's going on in this reading for you guys, Gemini. They really are. And so we've got the Three Pentacles on the tree there. The tree is in flower, and so Alice's work is a steady progress. You know, that's what this card tends to mean in any deck, and we can actually see it here. Because the only thing is this tree could really do with having its roots in the ground. It's a bit pot-bound there, I think, stuck in that tiny plant pot. But nevertheless, it's growing beautifully. Maybe the hair there with the plants is deciding where it actually needs to be planted, because it's going to need to be planted. It's going to need to spread its roots out to actually become everything that it could become. So when things start going right, Gemini, and this card really says that is imminent, that is on its way, that you've put the work in, you know, and that things are looking fairly good, then don't just settle for fairly good. Keep on looking for love. Keep on looking for absolute excellence in the outcome. Okay, that's going to be the journey forward through the year and through the rest of your life. But this is an important moment, because this early in the Pentacles journey is very grounded, and it's really, really showing a strong possibility of great success here. Okay, I'm drawn to the turquoise colour of the sky. Well, any card with the sky, the sky shown in it, is going to be turquoise, isn't it? Because that's the colour of the sky. But I'm thinking angel connections, and again, I'm thinking speaking your truth, like that last chakra card was telling us to do. Also, make sure that you're bringing everybody along with you on this journey who needs to be on it, because friends and the people you work with, even if you're working on your own, you're going to find yourself needing to work with other people to really get the best outcome here. Okay, and this is the outcome card, so you want it to be that good. But there's green growing everywhere. Get out into nature. Make sure your plans work with nature. That's really, really important, particularly because Mother Earth is suffering rather a lot, is she not? At the moment, because so many people have got plans but don't involve worrying too much about Mother Nature. The internet is becoming a thing, actually, you know. It saves a great deal of a kind of electrical energy and energy generally, because we don't have to travel around so much to do things anymore. You know, we're not cutting down trees to have paper to write letters on, that kind of thing. But in many places in the world, there are very large buildings that have to be full of servers, guzzling electricity all the time. So let's be mindful of that, okay? I try to be as mindful of that as I can be, as I'm kind of using YouTube and using the internet. Think of nature. That really is an important part of what's going on in the Three of Pentacles here. And it's really important when we think about grounding into this beautiful planet that we're aware of the need to look after her as best we can. Because the goddess energy is a very gentle energy, as powerful as it is. And so we need to approach it in a gentle but powerful way. So don't be put off by these concerns. Find a way of working with everything. Okay, whether that's working with your friends, working with the tree you're trying to grow, or just working with Mother Earth, because we all live here. We've all got to do that somehow. I'm shuffling the chakra deck and I'm saying, tell us more, please, about the Three of Pentacles and what we're going to do with this outcome card in the reading for Gemini that I'm doing right now, February 2020. Okay, let's pop that down because we've got one now, and it's number 26, and it's all about dreams, and this is to go with the Three of Pentacles, and it actually goes very well with it, because this is really about making the best use of resources in a physical and a spiritual way, and we get the best spiritual input there is in our dreams. So if you're having dreams regularly but you can't remember them, do get a pen and a piece of paper and keep them by the bed so you can write them down as they happen. You'd be surprised actually how much sense they make when you do that. We forget so much of dreams in the first sort of 10 minutes or so after waking up, and the knowledge we get through those dreams is very, very helpful if we can actually write it down. Now this looks like a wonderful dreamy landscape here. We've got the moon there, the crescent moon, and whenever I see that, I'm reminded that it's a cycle. You know, if there's a crescent moon, it's going to build up to a full moon, it's going to wane down to a new moon when there's not much energy about, and then it's going to come up crescent again, and then it's going to go to full. It's always going on. The cycle is always going on. And this is an important thing to remember about anything that involves resources. And this reading really does, Gemini. If you don't actually manage to catch the energy of the moment and bring yourself towards completion this time around, you'll get another chance again. The chances take a while to kind of come round. You know, there's a lady I remember a few years ago. I'm a spiritualist medium, and this lady wanted to learn to be a spiritualist medium. And she was actually very good as far as she'd gone, and I'm sure she would have done well if she'd really kind of made it into a career. But when people offered her the chance to work, and there were some really, really top mediums that offered her the chance to work with them, she'd kind of always have an excuse. I don't really know why. She wasn't a timid character, but she just kind of didn't feel that she could ask for the big prize there, and you sort of have to ask for it. That's another important thing about resources. They're all there. You've got to reach out and take them somehow. And this lady wouldn't. And I always felt, well, you know, her clock will come round and she'll get another chance. And she did. But it was years and years later. So if you can get onto the energy of the moment and actually keep the flow going and actually keep things moving in a positive direction, please do. And listening to your dreams is a real important part of that. As airy as that sounds, it is actually a link into the groundedness of reality, because that's what dreams are all about. They're, you know, certainly about the cosmic side of reality, but that really is a thing, and that really is part of reality. Okay, now I'm going to reach for yet another deck. This time, we're going to use Kyle Gray's Keepers of the Light, and I'm just going to draw one card now as a significator for this reading. This is a wonderful deck. It's all about light activation in so many ways, and that really is what the cosmic journey, the spiritual journey, is always about. So I'm having a shuffle now, and let's see what comes out, just to tell us all about this reading and what it really means to us. Okay, because it means something to me. I'm a Saggy, not a Gemini. But any time you see a spread of cards before you, it's going to mean something. So I take notice of all these, I do. And it's very, very good wisdom. Okay, so Mr. Gray and your Keepers of the Light, what have you to tell us? And we've got Lady Nada, Heart Awakening here. And this is to signify not just the individual cards, those as well, but the overall meaning of this reading. Okay, let me read the words on there. It says, awaken to acceptance and divine love, give and receive in balance. So that's really picking up on the dream thing there, right at the end of the reading. And as it talks about balance, that's right back at the beginning of the reading, and that is actually the heart. Well, that is actually where things are standing at the moment, Gemini. That need for balance is so important. And all you've got to do is give and receive in balance. It's like you can't breathe out without breathing in. You can't breathe in without breathing out. You can't pour from an empty vessel, all that kind of thing. So if you need to take a rest along the way, please do. There's a lot going on in this reading, and there's a lot of very positive things going on with resources, as difficult as it's looking in places. But give and receive in balance, okay? That is the way to do it. And awaken to acceptance. You'll find it within yourself somewhere, Gemini, to just be able to accept what's going on for what it is, because you'll sure be able to work with it. You really, really will, okay? Nothing is thrown at us by the universe until we are actually ready to work with it and make the most of it. I'm going to wrap this reading up for now, Gemini, so thanks very much for watching. Give me a thumbs up, please, if you've enjoyed it. Leave me a comment so I can zero in to who I'm working with here. That really helps matters. That kind of bigs up the connection and makes things work better. Leave me a comment. I've just said that, haven't I? Okay, and yeah. Share me around social media. That's what I was going to ask. Please share me around your social media if you've enjoyed this and if you think it's going to help, because that's really good if we can all bond together. We're a kind of a soul tribe when we start kind of relating to each other on the internet. And if you spread me around on your social media, we'll get in there and we'll really make things happen. I'll be back soon with very many more readings. I'll be back very soon with many more readings, very many more readings. Check out my channel. There are hundreds and hundreds of readings on there, and have a great month ahead of you. I'll be back before then with more readings. Okay, take care then, and peace.